Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today I wanted to talk to you about the wrong way to start the day and really the wrong way to go through the day, but specifically the beginning of the day is what I wanted to focus on. So, first thing is for a lot of people, OCD really hits first thing in the morning as soon as they wake up. And it really tries to pull you into staying in bed and ruminating or in terms of physical compulsions, a lot of the times it's staying in bed and doing a certain ritual, such as when I get up, I have to get up from this foot or from that foot, or I have to roll over this way or that way, those kinds of things. But in terms of rumination, it's a frequent thing that you feel like you need to figure it out before you get up, or that it's so monumental that there's no way that you can get up before figuring it out. This is a trap. You need to start getting up right away. So you woke up, thoughts hit, you got up. And then when you get up, make sure that you are not kind of just, you got up from the bed but sat on the couch. You can't do that because it's the same idea where you're just getting into the thoughts. I can tell you from having OCD for many, many years, not once have I actually solved anything in the morning when this situation happened. You're groggy, everything seems scary. There's no way you're going to figure anything. You shouldn't be figuring anything out ever, that's related to OCD, but especially not in the morning. It's just kind of draws you in and tries to get you to pay attention. Don't fall for it. It is always, always a trap. So you need to have a plan of when you get up, what you're going to do. And then when things get tough, when the anxiety goes high, then you're following that plan. So you don't have to kind of think about, okay, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do after that, right? Like coming up with things. You have a set plan that you've already prepared and you're just going along that plan kind of mindlessly, because a lot of the times when you first wake up, OCD is so high, it's hard to actually come up with anything, right? So you're just going along the plan. I got up, I had to do this, and then I'm going to do something after that, right? So, and you're just following that for as long as you can. And not to say that there won't be setbacks with this, but this is a better method than I'm going to wake up, think about OCD for hours, then finally kind of drag myself out of bed after I've already hit 10 out of 10 anxiety, after I already fell into rumination, and then maybe somehow I will start my day, right? If you look like you are okay, if you act if you are okay, even if you're feeling terrible, and I know how firsthand how painful OCD is, but it does you no good to show your brain that you are in pain, that you're taking these thoughts very seriously, because all that happens is that you're going to get more thoughts. So if you kind of play the part and look the part, then you're sending a message to your brain that these thoughts are irrelevant. I don't need to have more of them. Don't send them to me because they don't really bother me. I don't really care about them. And that's a very powerful message, because just like we talk disregarding, right? So you're kind of talking the talk and walking the walk, right? That you're showing your brain, yeah, I'm disregarding the thoughts. And then in the same kind of process, I'm also living life as if I already got over OCD. And that's a very, very powerful message. And that starts out in the morning. The way you start out your morning, it doesn't make or break the rest of the day, but it does set a tone for the rest of the day. If you do good in the morning, mid-afternoon, afternoon, you probably are going to be, if not okay, then better than you would have been if the morning went badly. Evening is kind of far away, so it can be, depending on the situation. But usually people feel worse either in the morning or in the evening. So if the morning is your kind of darkest time, then being really prepared and being prepared that the thoughts are going to hit and the thoughts are going to be bad. It will get bad. If you're prepared for that, then when it gets bad, then you're like, oh, I've trained for this. I practiced for this. I don't care. I'm disregarding. But if you think, oh, maybe today's going to be okay, I'm so hoping that today's going to be okay, and then it's not, and you start to fall apart, being prepared really does help with OCD, because OCD pretty much works on a pattern. So it can do, you can have thoughts more so certain times of the day when faced with certain triggers. Um, um, there's always a pattern to it. So knowing what your specific pattern is, and if it falls within it, you just disregard based on the fact that if it falls within the pattern for you. No, it's part of my pattern. I'm not doing this. Not diving into the thoughts, like I was saying in the other videos, right? Not zooming into the thoughts. More looking at it generally, like, yeah, it's kind of the same like the other thoughts, so I'm going to choose to dismiss it. And having a plan. The other thing I also kind of wanted to mention is, in the course of the day, make sure you're not planning too many things close together. It doesn't matter if they're not really stressful. The fact of you kind of going back and forth, doing this and that, it might be overwhelming. And that feeling of being overwhelmed, especially if things don't line up exactly right, you feel like they will line up, but the reality is different. That might send you into OCD land, right? So just give yourself some room between things that you need to do. So if it's possible, I mean, right? Try to space things out where they're doable, where you don't feel like you are stressed, overwhelmed, because stress always makes OCD worse. If you're stressed, you're gonna get just some random OCD thought just because you're stressed out. And you want to prevent that as much as possible because you want to stay on track. No fluctuation, As you feel better, as you're getting closer to recovery, then you can add that in. But I would say also like traveling, preparing for big events, really working yourself up in kind of any way is not really good, you know? Um, Try to maintain kind of like, even if there's something that's coming up, okay, this event is coming up or this holiday is coming up. That's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm going to feel how I'm going to feel. I'm not perfectly recovered yet. That's okay. So I'm probably going to get anxiety. It's not going to be perfect. Kind of talk it back down. Like, it is an event, but it's not all that important, because the more you hype it up, the worse your anxiety will tend to get. So it's good to kind of keep everything kind of neutral and then focus on how you are handling the thoughts when they're coming in. And again, starting from the morning. I hope you find my videos helpful. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you tomorrow with another video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I do daily videos about all things related to OCD recovery. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up from there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.